Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Am I audible? Okay. We are starting in 1 to 2 minutes. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Our mentors has joined, and there is some issue related to audio. So kindly wait for 2 to 3 minutes, and then we will start. Thank you for your cooperation. Yes, Assalamu alaikum everyone. I think Dr. Sara has joined us. And first of all, I want to introduce and I warmly welcome Dr. Sara as a mentor for the scientific writing course. And yeah, Dr. Sara Rehman, she is PhD in pharmacognosy and she is a passionate researcher mentor with the 14 years of distinguished experience in pharmaceutical education and natural product research, holding a PhD in pharmacognosy from University of Punjab. She has consistently demonstrated excellence in the teaching, curriculum development, academic leadership, and as a founding member and assistant professor at School of Pharmacy, University of Management and Technology, Lahore. Dr. Rahman played a significant role in establishing the institution's academic foundations. Her leadership as an admission lead, female focal person, and well being officer has fostered a dynamic, inclusive, and sportive environment for both the students and faculty. So, recognized with the prestigious Best School Teacher Award during 2023 to 2024 and multiple rectors appreciation letters, she has earned a reputation for exceptional student engagement and innovative pedagogy. Dr. Sara Rahman's career journey also includes enriching experience at Foreman Christian College and University of Lahore, along with the industrial exposure as QA/QC analyst and retail pharmacist. In addition to her teaching roles, Dr. Rahman has significantly contributed to academic community as section editor of Currents in Pharmaceutical CPR Journal and editor of the SPH newsletter. So, a committed researcher, Dr. Rahman's focus lies in isolation, characterization, bioactivity, assessment of the phytoconstituents. Her research on medicinal plants has been published in esteemed journals, contributing to the advancement in natural product based therapeutics. She has successfully supervised MPhil theses in diverse areas of pharmacognosy and continues to inspire future scientists through her mentorship. Driven by a vision to bridge traditional knowledge and modern drug discovery, Dr. Sara Rahman, devoted to educational excellence, research, innovation, and holistic development of the pharmaceutical sciences community. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us in today's session. Now the stage is yours. Please continue.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much, Dr. Rashid, for such an extensive introduction. And I'm glad to be a part of Research Minds and glad to share my knowledge, whatever I can deliver, whatever I can teach. So I apologize for a little delay because there was some problem with my laptop audio, so I couldn't connect at time. So apologies for that. So, with no further delay, I would start my session, and the topic is about mastering literature review and referencing. So, can you see the slide? Okay, if you can, okay, thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am, slides are visible.
Thank you so much. So, as you are all aware, that a basic, you can say, the part of your research writing, whether you are going to write a paper or whether you are going to write a thesis or a synopsis. literature review is always of significant importance because your all the research work, your all the findings, your all the planning about your research, that is based on the literature review. The stronger the literature review, the more you are capable to strengthen your research work and also your writing. So I would briefly cover the various areas of literature review, what you need to focus on while doing the literature review, while writing the literature review, and what are the weaknesses that you need to overcome while doing the literature review, and it's definitely in your thesis or publication writing. And a second part of the presentation would be about the referencing. And the referencing, as there are it's quite simple thing, it just needs a basic knowledge how to quote the references. And this is there are so many softwares that are quite helpful in referencing. All you just need is to know about how to cite the references properly and how to make the best use of that particular software. So the first part, that is the mastering literature review. So what is literature review? I hope it's a bit clear now, or should I further magnify it? If you can uh, tell me in text. Okay, thank you for your feedback that the screen is clear. So, starting with what is a literature review? It is basically a systematic examination of scholarly works. It means that you are taking the help of the previously done work, the previously reported work, and you are taking its help to support your research work, to have an idea about your research work, that what you are going to do or what you are going to write. And it is basically it's a foundation of your research work. So it's not just a summary but a critical evaluation, because literature review is an extensive work that needs multiple resources to be examined. You should focus on examining as many resources, as many references, as many reported works as you can. So it would strengthen your ideology of your work, and it would strengthen your own creativity, your own imagination, your own ideas. It aims to identify the patterns, themes, controversies, and gaps in the research, because the same thing might be reported in a different way by different authors. Same findings could be interpreted in a different way by different authors. So there are a lot of gaps, there are a lot of controversies, there are a lot of patterns. And what you have to do, you have to critically think, critically analyze, and this would be only possible if you are using multiple resources, multiple dimensions, multiple research works, multiple literatures, to find out what is the best, uh, uh, you can say, the ground or the focus that you can follow. and it sets the context for your project. So, simply defining the literature review for those who are new to it, that it's basically the critical evaluation of the previously done work, previously reported work, and it paves the way for you to find out what should be the best uh, way to perform your work, to express your ideas, to strengthen your hypothesis, and to report your findings. But it is critically important in your writings, because in mostly in the synopsis or in the thesis, there are 4 to 5 chapters based on different organizations. Same goes with the publication, that there is the abstract, there is the introduction part, then there is the literature review, methodology, results, and finally the discussion. So literature review is important because it's a section of the writing, in terms of it's like it's a separate heading of literature review. But again, when you are going to discuss your findings, when you are going to discuss your research work, then again you are going to hit the literature review again, to correlate your findings with the previously reported work, whether you are going to finding the supportive comments, or you are in you can say you are bringing some different idea in comparison to the reported one. This literature review is going to be an important part of your work and writing. So, what is the purpose of a literature review? So, as I mentioned earlier, that it is the foundation of your work. Because when you are going, whatever idea you are bringing, whatever you are going to write, your first target would be the literature review. That what are the you can say, what are the findings, what are what are the basic ideas, what you can do. For example, if I because being a specialist of the natural products, and it's in natural products, and going trend in this time. So what the thing is that, so what the basic thing is that, for example, I'm going to decide a plant to bring out some kind of research on it. So what is the basic foundation? That I will go on some web links, on some Google Scholar or some areas, and then um uh, I would find out what has been reported on this plant. Is there any previous work, or what idea I want to bring, whatever I want to research, whatever I want to find? I would go to some uh, Google, like Scholar or some areas, PubMed, wherever I can find them, some findings about that particular plant, and then I could plan it. Then second part is the direction. It helps define the research questions or hypothesis. For example, if I'm going to plan that I need to do this kind of activity on this plant, say I want to study that its effect on the heart. So what idea is in my mind? I would go to the search, I would go to the review of various articles, and then I would find that whether my question is valid or not. What else I can do? Is there anything else that should be done, or is my hypothesis or my idea correct or not? So literature review is basically going to support it. Then justification, it shows why your study is needed, because definitely if I have claimed I want to do this, I can do this, then again the literature review would support your ideas. It would justify your findings or your plan, that yes, these things have been reported, or these things are possible, and you can do it. And it provides a theoretical or conceptual model for your study, because if you are being if I am the evaluator and you are sharing something to me to evaluate, so definitely I would go for the literature review and find out what has been previously done, from where your idea actually came. And this is basically, you can say, it provides a theoretical as well as conceptual model. Whenever you are going to discuss your ideas with someone, then this is again a supportive thing. So I hope that you could get that this is the basic core of your research work, that literature review is going to support your findings and to support your document whenever you are going to present it anywhere. Next, there are different types of literature reviews. The first one is narrative. It's the descriptive overview without a strict methodology. For example, it's like journal form, and mostly we follow it because it's if I'm going to perform something, if I'm going to do something, I would describe it that I have previously seen such literature. I would give their references, and I would describe that this is my idea. This is what I can do. And then there are different further which are more extensive, and that is the systematic reviews as well as meta-analysis. They include, they are more extensive than this narrative literature review. There the it is they because the systematic review and the meta analysis, they are a combination of qualitative and quantitative, you can say, studies, and they are important because they give reproducible results, because it's they have a proper scheme. They have that on systematic review and meta analysis, we can arrange a separate session because it's quite an extensive, you can say, topic. And then scoping, that is broad mapping of key concepts and types of evidence. So mostly in systematic review and meta-analysis is important for your writings whenever you are just going to write, and the narrative one is useful whenever you are doing any kind of, you can say, you write to you want to have to write a review article, or you are supporting your synopsis or your thesis or any of your research publication that is that is basically that actually came from some sort of research work, whether it is you can say survey based or whether it is a practical one. There are different steps in conducting the literature review. uh, I hope that you have got the idea of what literature review is and what you actually uh, do in literature review. So, if anyone wants to uh, share in messages that whether you are clear on the concept of literature review now, so I can move forward. Okay, thank you very much. So, now it was the introduction that I have told you what is literature review, what was its purpose, and what are the different types of literature review. Now I am going to start with what actually is, what are the various steps that are involved in conducting the literature review. So, first of all, you define your question that you already have in your mind, and you start doing literature review for that particular question, what you are going to do, what you are going to perform. Then you use frameworks like PICO or SPICE. These are applicable to some specific fields. I would explain it in my next slides what actually it is. Okay, so after you have in your mind what you are going to do, you have planned your question and you move forward and make your framework. Then you start searching the databases from which you can get the reported work, and that suits you and that can support your idea or your question. Then you use strategic search terms and filters. It would also be explained in the coming slide that what is the best way, because whenever you are going to search something on various databases, you will get plenty of you can say options that are shown to you. Now, how to reach the correct option, how to without, because sometimes when we are searching without any particular strategic term, then we get a multiple type of papers, and we it's not connected to our work, and we start getting fed up, and we just want that what we are not able to get the basic idea, and this hinders our search. Start losing interest, and this is, you can say, a limitation, and that poses problems for us. Then we screen and select the sources after we reach the correct one. Then we check for the relevance and credibility. That yes, this is what I was looking forward. And then after we have got it, after a lot of searches, we organize the content. We make some themes or sub themes if required. we write down the methodology or whatever the case may be in case of your task. Then we synthesize the information and compare and contrast the findings. This is particularly done in the discussion section, where you compare and contrast the findings from the literature and your own findings, and you write the review, ensure it's critical and cohesive and not just a summary. So we ensure that our literature review is a cohesive one, and a cohesive literature review is the one which is very much clear, which is logically strong. There is reasoning, there are strong logics, and the concept and the message is quite clear to the you can say reader or the anyone to which you are presenting. So this is, I'm going to explain what is spice and what was pico. So spice, it's basically what you are going, first of all, setting where is the research happening. For example, it's going in urban hospitals, schools. So basically it's a survey based one, where you are going you're doing your research work or the literature review for some sort of survey. Then the words, the perspective, who are the users, stakeholders or participants, for example patients or teachers. Then intervention, what action, strategy or event is being examined. For example, someone is doing on telemedicine. Then comparison, what is the alternative to compare with, for example in person visits. And E for evaluation, what is the result or outcome, for example satisfaction and effectiveness. Okay, so this was the concept of spice, and next I'm going towards what is. Okay, this is an example of spice question. So as in rural primary schools, so that is going to be what is the, where there is, what is the setting. So the setting is the rural primary school. How do teachers, so P is the perspective, like who are the users or the stakeholders or the participants. So in this case, in this example, the participants are the teachers. Perceive the effectiveness. So it's going to be intervention, that what action or strategy or event is being examined. So this is the perception of their effectiveness of something. Of what? Digital learning platforms. This is the you can say I'm sorry, this is the intervention, digital learning platforms. And compared to traditional books, this is the comparison. And I'm sorry, this is the evaluation. What is there? If we are going to evaluate the effectiveness of the perception regarding the digital learning platforms. So this is the basic idea, that now you are doing the literature review, and these are the core points that you have settled. And this is based, this is the, you can say, summary of your literature review, that you are going to what is the setting, what was the perspective, what intervention was carried out, what was the comparison, and what was actually evaluated. Similarly, Pico, it's the comparison of actually where Pico is implemented and where the Spice is implemented. And Pico elements are, for example, adults with hypertension, intervention, low sodium diet, regular diet, or reduction in blood pressure. So this is population, adults with hypertension. This is population. I is for intervention, that it's low sodium diet, and comparison with regular diet, and reduction in blood pressure. What was the outcome? So the elements of the PICO are actually population, intervention, comparison, and outcome. So this is the example, that in adults with hypertension, population is the adults who are hypertensive. Then what is the basically intervention? It is the low sodium diet, which is compared with the regular diet, and the outcome would be the reduction in blood pressure. So this is your research question, and with the help of this you are going to find the supportive literature review. So these are the different databases that are used for the literature review. Mostly, we are going to use Google Scholar, which is broad and multidisciplinary. Most of the you can say good work that is found in Google Scholar, and it's quite easy to you can say connect this Google Scholar with the various citation tools that you are going to use, and it's quite user friendly, I can say. But other than that, there are JSTOR, which are for humanities and social sciences, Scopus, good journals, and IEEE Explore, it's engineering and technology, PubNess education, social sciences, and then PsycInfo, it's for psychology and mental health. So these are the different databases that you can use. I mostly prefer the Google Scholar because it brings a wealth of, you can say, information, good reported works, and it's quite helpful in for the literature review. So I'm going to share us 2 to 3 small tips for finding the exact idea that you are looking for while doing the literature review. So this is called use the Boolean operators and quotation marks. The Boolean is simply a combination of 3 words, and, or not. But these words are so important while searching because it would help to dig out the relevant information for you, what you need actually. So this is you can say important in case of a literature review. So the 3 Boolean words that are and, or not. So what and does actually? It narrows the search by combining the terms. For example, I want to have a connection. I'm studying on some relationship between diabetes and exercise. So if I am using this word and in my searches, it would filter out the best possible matches for me. So it results that include both terms. Then, or it broadens the search to include either term, like you want to have some more extensive, but still you want to be specific in your searches, then you are going to use the word or. Then teenagers or adolescents. And it results that include either word, both of the, it would bring to you data from both of these ages. And not, it will exclude it. Not is an excluding term definitely. So for example, I say obesity, not children. So it would give me the idea, give me the research work about obesity, but it would not include the children in the research. So this is a key or a tip to find out the best literature review. Then a second tip is use the quotation marks to search for exact phrases. For example, you are looking for a phrase that is climate change. So you have to use the quotation marks and then you enter your search. So this returns the results where those 2 words appear together in that exact order instead of separately. Otherwise, if you are using the without these quotation marks, you can experience it that it would give you multiple options that you are that becomes difficult for you to sort out, and it would cover both climate words and both change word, and it would definitely pose a difficulty for you in reaching to the exact content what you want. Without quotes, a search for climate change might return pages where the words climate and change are used anywhere, even if they are unrelated. So this is with an example, this search technique table, and I have told you that you can use the Boolean words that is and, or not. So I have explained and quotation marks that is also explained. And then there is combined search, for example, mix multiple tools for precision, like mental health and adolescents, not depression, because you are not looking for depression, you are just looking into some other features of the mental health, but definitely it's an ongoing issue, depression. So it would like show you more results if you are not going to this key tip of the combined search. So these are some of the tools that would be quite helpful for you while you are doing your literature review that use the words exactly what you want to search. You want to study connect two links, use the word and. You want some extensive things, but they are more than two or more than two, you can use the word or. And if you don't want anything, just use not, use quotation marks, and in some cases you can use and not both in combined to further filter out what you are going to find. So, summary of the tips that I have given to you for effective literature review, that is, use Boolean operators and or not, set inclusion and exclusion criteria. So, this exclusion and inclusion criteria is explained as, for example, I include in my search the peer reviewed studies from 2015 to 2023 in English. So this is and my inclusion criteria that I just want these studies from in during this time period only. And exclusion criteria, studies on animals, unpublished thesis, uh, pre 2015 work. This is just an example. Okay, so when you are going to search on different databases, you can find that they provide such sort of filters that you need some publication from this area, this range. So whenever you are going to literature review, if you do not choose this filter, it would give you a wide range of data that would be uncontrollable and difficult for you to handle, difficult for you to read and manage. So what you are going to do, for a good effective literature review, please consider this inclusion and exclusion criteria that is provided in the databases. Then take notes and categorize the sources. So this is another tip that not may seem to be very, you can say, it doesn't seems to be a bigger one, but yes, it's important to categorize your sources. Make folders in your laptop regarding every kind of search that you have done, label that folders, and make your notes regarding literature review, because as you have done it, so if you couldn't be able to touch it for a certain period of time, and then after that time you're going to open it again, so definitely you will be disconnected for some time period and it would be difficult for you to recall the things. So once you have made the notes, when you have arranged the your data categorically, you have made the folder specifically labeled and specified, then it would help you further to you can say it would make it easy for you. This is a tip that's for your ease. So use of synthesis matrix and use citation managers there are Zotero, Mendeley, EndNote. So I usually prefer EndNote to be used. So this is basically what I have told you, inclusion and exclusion criteria. And secondly, like you can make notes that okay, this is this as this indicates May 2020. This is the source that you are using, and it's Nippon. What theory it used? It's CBT. What was the methodology? It was qualitative work. What were the findings? The findings were about reduced anxiety, and what were the limitations of the study? It was small sample. So this is basically the summary of what you found, and you made the notes for your help that would help you to reproduce the things. So this is, you can say, these are the uh, some basic ideas of doing an effective literature review. So next, shifting towards next slide. This synthesis matrix, it actually it's a tool which helps you to organize and synthesize your information from multiple sources. So you have collected your information from multiple sources, and then you by yourself you organize it, your information, you synthesize it in your own notes, that what you got from these multiple sources. So why these all steps matter? Because it helps you synthesize, combine, and analyze sources, not just uh, summarize them. This is crucial for writing a coherent literature review. So a coherent literature review is actually, I'm sorry for the typo mistake, it's well organized, it's logically structured and clearly focused. These are the steps that are crucial to organize to you, or I would use the single term coherent literature review. And what coherent literature review is, it is well organized, it's logically structured and clearly focused, and all is it's to be done by you. These are the tips for you, that how you have to make your literature review a coherent one. You have to be well organized, you have to organize your data in such a way it's you can say it's self explanatory. Next time you open it after a couple of days, or you are going to summarize it before your supervisor, you have on tips that what you actually found if you have organized it in a very systematic way. It's logically structured and clearly focused. And these are the tips that I have provided, given you very clearly. These are not difficult. These are very much easy to implement, and these are going to help you a lot while you are doing the literature review, because many students complain and many students are weak in the literature review. They say that they are unable to make a flow, they are unable to organize the data because there are multiple sources, there are multiple papers, each paper saying a different thing about the same topic. So that's how you are actually you have to work out to make your, because the more you filter your search, the more relevant data you get, and then it's your own effort that you have to organize this data to make it more presentable, to make it more reproducible, more readable, more applicable. So these things are to be done by you. So, what are the key features of a coherent literature review? It has a clear purpose. Every paragraph supports your research question or objective, right? It's. I think I have done into so much. I've elaborated these concepts in detail. That um, your the more you are specific in your question, the more you have read the most relevant uh, uh, references, the more clear your literature review would be. So the purpose should be clear, that every paragraph supports your research question or objective. There should be no, you can say, extra material, or no such comments, or no such reportings or findings that are not relevant to your work. Then there should be a logical flow. This is the most important thing, and that usually the students lack. They are not able to create a flow. So once your search is, you can say, schematic, then you will be able to make a logical flow. That ideas are presented in a sequence. You are from one idea switching to the next, so there is a sequence of everything. It's not that you start with something that is a very you can say final step, and that you are going to discuss initially, and the very basics they lack, and they are either not discussed or they are discussed at the end. So there should be a logical flow. Synthesis over summary combines findings from multiple sources to show relationship, not just list of studies, right? You have to interlink, you have to connect what you have studied from the literature, from different papers. You have to combine or connect the findings of those papers as well. So that is why you need to focus, you need to study more and more. You have to go for multiple resources. Do not stick to a single one, because it would create hurdles in your findings, or in your while writing the literature review. Transitions and linking uses transitions to connect ideas smoothly between paragraphs and themes. That is something that is linked to the logical flow. Then there should be critical analysis, evaluate the strengths, weaknesses, and gaps in the literature, not just reports finding. Where you are going to find out the data, you are going to explore the things, but you yourself have to critically analyze that what are the strengths of the reported work, what are the weaknesses, and what you can do in your work. And focused scope stays tightly aligned with the research questions, avoid irrelevant tangents. So, common mistakes to avoid is plagiarism. Always cite your sources. Okay, this is again a very important point in literature review, because plagiarism, other than the first thing that I said, that that is most critical, is the logical flow while writing the literature review, and plagiarism, because firstly you have to cite your sources using, you can do it, it's very easy, like you can do it manually as well, from the various links at the website. They have given, every paper have the option cite reference, and they have given different styles of citation, so you can collect from there the site. Secondly, you can use the softwares like EndNote that directly import your data from the Google Scholar, say for example, into your Word file where you are writing, and there is no need for any kind of and if you think you're a master and you can do it manually, so there are details are given on the internet of how to cite in various styles, and you are going to cite according to the whatever you are, your journal demands or your institute demands, so you can do it manually as well. It depends upon you, that what you are going to imply in your writing. So plagiarism is very much important. Whatever you find, whatever you have to make, convert it into your own idea, into your own concept, and then you have to transfer it into your document. If you are going to copy and paste and you are not citing your references properly, it would result into a lot of plagiarism, and this will definitely affect the quality of your work and acceptability of your work as well. Then over reliance on too many, too old or single type of studies, that is also not a healthy thing for literature review. Going to more and more data, going to more and more details, and analyze more and more, you can say, resources to find your some literature about your work. Then there is lack of critical evaluation. Don't just list, analyze, as I have mentioned earlier, that use your own imagination as well. Do not rely on copy paste. Read and then reproduce in your own words. Literature review is not just to report the thing exactly like in the same words, in the same terminology that you find in the paper, in the published work. It actually demands your own critical thinking, that how you perceive that idea and how you would write that idea in your own words. And then there is, if there is disorganization, for example, use outlines or concept maps, so you can avoid this in your writing as well. So this was the first part. I hope I can take the questions at the end, with the question answer session. So I have completed the first part, that is what is literature review, what are the best ideas of how to carry it, what are the best ways to for proper citation or for proper, you can say, using the proper resources. So now I would be shifting that what is referencing, because when there is literature review, referencing goes side by side. These are two things that are mandatory while doing. These are two combined, you can say, these are always connected to each other. So moving to what is referencing. Acknowledge ideas and data not originally yours. It is actually referencing. You are acknowledging that what you have written, this is, this does not belong to you, but it actually belongs to someone else, and you have to give that the name, you have to acknowledge that reference, you have to acknowledge that source, that I got this idea from there. So it's very important for academic integrity. So academic integrity is again a very broad term, and this needs, you can say, it also needs a separate session on it, because academic integrity is something that is very critical, and it should be implemented in our institute, in our daily lives, in the lives of the researchers. um, So this is actually uh, academic integrity, that you are fulfilling the requirements of honesty. uh, you are not going to fabricate anything, you are not going to falsify anything. So whatever reference you are using, you are citing it properly and giving, you are not taking the ownership on your own that this is your work. You are actually telling that this work is done from that area and you have to cite it in your writings or finding. It helps the readers to locate your resources, because when you are going to cite your work, then it's very easy for the reader, whether it's a journal reader from the public or your supervisor or any of your fellow mate, to just click that reference and find out what you from where you got the basic idea or data. And it distinguishes your work from others. So these are uh, Yeah, I had just. I think I could. I would reply to the answers at the end, to the questions at the end, because there is a question if I can give an overview from the start at the end. So I would definitely summarize what I have told you so far. I've even tried to repeat things and make a connection of every slide. So I would definitely give an overview at the end, for sure. So the next is the common referencing styles. You can get it from whatever paper you are going to study. You can just click the cite option, cite reference. So it would give you a multiple citing styles. It's APA, MLA, Chicago, Harvard, IEEE. And actually it's based on, it varies from institute to institute. It varies from you can say journal to journal. So you have to follow the style according to the demand of the institute or according to the demand of the journal. So references are cited in two areas, in two you can say places in your document. If I'm talking about your document, now we have done the literature review, we have gone through what it is, we have gone through how to search it, what are the ideal ways, how to write it, how you have to avoid plagiarism, you have to give the cite the references. So when you are going to cite the references, they are given in two parts. One is in-text citation, that are given where you have, for example, I have written one line that the plant Chinopodium album, uh, it was studied on animals and it shows some hypoglycemic potential in rats. So at the end of this statement, I have to write from where I got this line, from where I got actually from where I got this information. So I would write it in text as, for example, it's Smith 2020. This is the name of the author with the year of publication. So again, it's going to vary. The citation style varies from journal to journal, institute to institute. In some cases, we just cite in text citation, we just give the number, and at the end, we arrange the references in number. And if I say this about chenopodium has hypoglycemic activity, and I say that it's my reference number one. So at the end of my document, where I'm going to arrange the bibliography or the references where I'm going to arrange, so I would cite that simply it's just reference number one, and at the end in my list it would be number one. So in other case where the author name and the year is given, so it would be alphabetically arranged in the bibliography. So bibliography or references full citation at the end. For example, it has some criteria. This is the example of a book, but it indicates the name of the author. So there are different writing styles, how you have to write the author's name, first name, the second, the surname, it comes first, and then the first name's first letter has to be written in capital with a dot at the end or comma. But again, these are going again according to the referencing style, whether it's APA or MLA or it's Harvard or whatever you are going to follow. And then we have the name of the title of the study. Then we explain the title of the journal, where from where we got it. This is the case for the book. And then we mention that it's if it's journal, then what its volume, what its edition, and then what are the page numbers. So these are all arranged in detail in the bibliography or the references section, which is the last part of your writing, whether it's a synopsis, a thesis, or a research publication. So there are different reference management tools. You can use these. You just simply have to install it, make library in your laptop or your desktop, wherever you are going to use, and connect it to your Word document, and simply you can uh, have a like you can say you can import your reference directly from, say for example, Google Scholar, and by using EndNote, so it's quite easy for you. I would give you a practical demonstration, but due to some problem in my laptop, I've switched to other one, and it doesn't have a note in it. So we can plan it for some other time in some other session of mine, uh, that how to use these softwares to cite the references. For those who are new to it, most of the students, if they are doing their MPhil, or if they are used to write the papers or publications, they must be using it. It's quite easy. It's not difficult. It's very user friendly. In fact, it's something that helps you, supports you in your document without taking much time and effort. This is the example of a PA style, for example. So in citation, this is the book, and this is the journal article. You can say the author name, then the year, then the title of the topic, the title of the publication, Research Trend in Sociology, the journal name, Journal of Science and Research. Then we have the edition and the volume. Volume, for example, 45, it's edition third, then page number 112 to 130. So, what is the tip to avoid the plagiarism? Is paraphrase properly, rewrite in your own words, cite anyway. Whether you rewrite in your own words, you have to cite it. This is not that I have taken the idea and I have expressed it in my own words. So there is no need to give the reference. Why? No, you have to give the reference every time, even if you are going to change the whole statement, that should be changed as well, because paraphrasing is quite important, and use paraphrasing is itself a skill. It that need that can be learned. Some people have the capability, that is a built-in capability of paraphrasing. Some learn it by repetitively practicing to do it, and you have to take care of the grammar as well, language as well. You have to be careful while selecting the words, selecting the terms, because certain journals, they basically they can criticize, you can say, or they can object. I should not use the word criticize. They object on the selection of the particular term that you are use in your sentence. They can ask you to change the term because it doesn't suits the scenario or situation. So paraphrasing is a skill, and it refines with practice. And in either case, you have to paraphrase, you have to cite. Then quote sparingly, use direct quotes for key phrases, and cite all the sources, even if summarized. And uh, you can check the plagiarism by various softwares. Mostly these are accessible to your supervisors. They have the account, and you can just give them your document, and they will check how much plagiarism it has. And then you have to again paraphrase to remove this plagiarism, to bring it into the limits. Mostly it's the most of the institutes, they follow a 19% limit of plagiarism in your document. If it's above 19%, definitely you have to work on it, paraphrase it, and rewrite the things again to bring the plagiarism below 19%. And if it is like from 5 to 7%, 8%, it's quite impressive, and it gives a good impression that you have utilized this paraphrasing ability to the most, and you have cited the references properly wherever needed. So, what are the final tips that I'm going to give you for a successful literature review? Is start early, because it's not a matter of 2 to 3 days. Review takes time. You have to explore multiple resources, you have to explore multiple ideas, you have to summarize multiple ideas. So you have to start early if you want to complete your work efficiently and timely. So you need to start your literature review at the very initial stage of your research work, so that you can uh, uh, end up with a quality work which is well organized. If I use the term coherent literature review, that would add value to your work. And then use it. An important tip is that use the recent resources for last 5 to 10 years. If you are going to use more like some old work for past 20 to 25 years, that is going to be challenged by the reviewers. You have to look into it again, and that would definitely result in the loss of your time, your effort, and everything. So try to use the recent sources and stay organized. As I told you earlier, use folders, take notes, make folders with their labels. This is literature review for my methodology, this is literature review for the plant history, this is literature review for its uses, this is the literature review for its you can say it's a family history if I'm sticking to the natural product. So you have to be organized in your literature review. And then proofread, ensure consistency in citation style. You have, because consistency is the key, and you need to be consistent in your writing. You have to proofread, you have to cross check whether you have cited the references properly, whether you have because sometimes what we do, we take the source, we take the information from some resource, but during citation we report some other resource. So that leads to the, you can say, that may count towards falsification of the data. So you should be vigilant while citing this. So this is all about what literature review is, how ideally you have to search, how ideally you have to write, and what are the ways to cite the references, and what are the keys to for the successful literature review. Because some students might not take it seriously, but it's quite serious, because your all the studies, your all the findings, your discussion part, particularly where you are going to support your findings, that are going to be supported in turn by literature review. Because the stronger the literature review, the more stronger will be your document, the stronger you will be your research work, stronger will be your discussion part, where you are going to support your findings of the, whether it's you have done some practical work, whether you have done some survey, or even if you have you are going to write a review article. Then again, review article is solely based on literature review. So this is all from my side. If you have any question, you are most welcome to ask. So the question is, uh, in which section we can take to cite like the in-text citation from conclusion, result, or finding. So you have to, the in-text citation is required in the introduction part, in the literature review part, and then in the discussion part, and also in the methodology. So the only part that is left without in-text citation or the citation, that are your results or the abstract that you are going to write. Yes, can you repeat what we write in the discussion paragraph? Yes, we write in the discussion paragraph, we actually portray uh, the results of our findings. For example, if we have done a survey or a lab work, so we are discussing that I have we found that this plant has some toxicity at this dose, and it was as applied on the animals. So now you are going to support this statement of your finding, of your own finding, with some reported work about the same plant, that yes, it's that studies have reported that this part of the plant is toxic if administered in doses. So in the discussion part, you are going to actually relate your own findings, and then you have to support it side by side with the literature or with the resources from where you got about that. Like, this is discussion is actually about connecting your findings with the reported work. So in the discussion part, you have to relate your own findings with the reported findings, and again you have to give the reference wherever you are going to do. I can, okay, I will repeat the slide 21 and 22 for you. I conducted a prospective observational study in 2020. Is it still possible to publish? Yes, you can publish it, and you have, but you have to mention that when this study was carried out. And for this, you have to find out some suitable journal where you can publish your work that is connected to your definitely topic. And also you can even get this idea whether this much work, this much old work can be published or not. So you can even get this idea from the journals as well, because if they have this kind of work reported, some people do it in the past years and then they publish it later. So if someone has not published about it, you can try to publish it. Okay, I will do. Okay, how do we know which citation style are we supposed to use? You are going to choose the style as used by the journals, or as followed by the institute. That's how you can get. Okay, so moving towards slide number 21 and 22. Okay, actually, it's something that is self-explanatory. These are the reference management tools that you can use: Zotero, Mendeley, and Note Citavi. So I mostly use EndNote because, and I would recommend you to use EndNote because it's more friendly to use, and it's you just need to connect your EndNote with the Google Scholar, and you just can import your reference, and that directly comes into your Word document. So this is again, you can say it, if you it's something that needs hands-on practice. So you can go for some online videos. You can get that how to use these softwares. And the slide number 22, this is an example. For example, I'm using APA. And again, in APA, with this, there is APA 6th, APA 7th. So how we are going to cite, for example, I have taken a reference that is I've used a book. I have taken information from the book, and now how I have to write it in APA style. So I would write the author name first, then the year, and then the title of the book, and then the name of the publisher or press who has published it. And same is the case with the journal that I have. So you, if you are going to use the EndNote software, you can easily find it out. Moreover, you can just simply go to Google Scholar, write, type any of the information, like for example any kind of text you want to search, any topic, and if you open the paper, there would be an option, site reference. So you can just click on it and you will get various citation styles over there. You can just need to copy and paste in your document, but for that you have to do in-text citation by yourself. So that is the difference. Okay, I have few more question. In which section okay, it's done. Can you repeat what we write in the discussion? But yes, I have told it. Okay. How our literature review can be in chronological order. Like, we first, what second? Is it related with our topic title? Thank you. Uh, yeah, actually, you have to. Actually, I'm not able to get your question properly. However, literature review can be in chronological order, like first, what we second. Is it related with our topic title? It's not related to your topic title. You have to be like you just need to be. You can say uh, you have to follow the latest references as I have told you. And can you please rewrite and tell me the what actually you want to understand? So if you have selected a topic that has evolved over a period of time, then it could be and the chronological order. Uh, it's definitely depends on your topic. For example, if you talk about AI, so it is something which has evolved over a period of time. So you can then cite the references in a chronological order. In a literature review, what to focus that address our research interest or idea from any article, book, or to other. Actually, you get the idea of your research from literature review, or even if it is in your mind, you have to explore some reported work to get actually what you want to study, what you want to find, or whether your idea to support or strengthen your idea, you have to go for the literature review. So even if it is generated from your own mind, you have to go on the you can read the you can use books, you can use journals, whatever um, you want to you can say consult. How to cite or add reference in literature review, that I have elaborated well, that you can use software and note, or you can just go to the to the paper where that you are going to cite, and that is site publication option, where there's only there is word written site, and just you can follow the style whatever you need, or you can you do it manually. There are three ways. Use that provided by by the journal within the paper, by the software, and manually. Which reference style is used for pharmacy student or depends on data provided or have. For pharmacy students, again, it depends upon the institute. For example, certain institutes they follow APA style. Most of the institutes, some follow scientific style. So it's again what your institute is going to, what guideline your institute gives, and then that is followed by you. Again, if you are going to write for the paper, then you have to write the instructions for the author, and there they have mentioned what referencing style they use, and you have to follow that. There is you cannot stick to a single one and apply it everywhere. Yeah, I have told what is the order of the literature review. If it depends on your topic, if you have selected a topic that has evolved over a period of time, then definitely will start from the previous findings, and then you can move towards the latest one. You being a student of pharmacy, how I can write a review article. So for to write the review article, first of all you have to select a topic what you want to write about. Then for that topic you have to explore various you can say databases, um, uh, get whatever information you collect as much data as you can from various papers, and then organize that data, and then you can prepare your literature review. Then again prepare your review article, and it is important that there should be a flow, a logical flow. There should be a harmony whenever you are going to write the review article. So it's simple. You first have to choose the topic, and then you can use various databases to find out the maximum allocate various resources, and then utilize those resources to collect your for to write for your article. Is there a specific guide when writing the literature review? Maybe I should start from the history to importance, etc. Yeah, you can start from the history and important, but again, that is a flow that is important. Thank you very much. I hope if there is no further question, so I hope you got an idea about what literature review is and what are the citation styles. And with this, I'm concluding today's session. Thank you very much and see you in the next session, inshallah. Dr. Rashid, if you are here, do you want to say something or should I sign off? Okay, I think he is not here. Okay, students, have a nice time. Allah Hafiz.